So, given that logic, I already know that trigonometry will always study the relationship between the sides and angles of right triangles. So now we have a slightly more complicated question when it comes to trigonometry. And the question states, sine law is A equals B divided by sine B or equals C divided by sine C? Or is it A divided by sine A equals B also equals C divided by sine C? Or is it A divided by sine A equals B divided by sine B equals C divided by sine C? Or is it also A divided by sine A is equal to B divided by sine B equals C? When we're talking about the sine law or the sine rule, we have to take one thing into consideration, and it is very important. This rule or law will only apply to triangles that are non-right triangles. So let's go back to the example I showed you guys last time. So like I said before, when we're talking about the sine rule, it will only apply to a non-right triangle. So that means that any triangle that is not 90 degrees, that could be slightly less or slightly more than 90 degrees, the sine law will always be practical and will always be in effect. You will never see the sine rule applied to triangles that are right triangles. So the sine rule will always be written as sine A divided by A equals sine B divided by B equals sine C divided by C. But what exactly does this rule mean when it comes to triangles that are non-right triangles, and what can we actually use this formula for? Well, basically what the sine rule means is that whenever we are dealing with a triangle that is not a right triangle, whether it be an acute or an obtuse triangle, and we're trying to find the missing side lengths or the missing degrees that each particular intersect has, we can use the sine rule in order to find out what that missing degree or side length is. And the way we can do that is by making sure that the particular intersects of the triangle always correspond with the particular side lengths of the triangle. So for example, this particular intersect A, which is equal to 71 degrees, will correspond with this particular side length A of this particular triangle, and this particular intersect C will always correspond with this particular side length C for this particular triangle, and intersect B will always correspond with this side length B for this particular triangle. So now we go back to the original question. Sine law states that